What if I told you the world you live in isn't guided by reason or love or logic, but by a blind, irrational force, a will that hungers, strives, and never sleeps? And what if one man saw this truth, and it nearly destroyed him? This is not the story of a philosopher who wanted to comfort us. This is the story of Arthur Schopenhauer, the dark genius who dared to say life is suffering and freedom is found in surrender. He inspired Nietzsche. He terrified Freud. He predicted the spiritual crisis of the modern world. Welcome to the mind of the philosopher who stared into the abyss and saw himself staring back. Arthur Schopenhauer was born in 1788 in a world ruled by reason and optimism. But from the very beginning, he saw things differently. His father, a wealthy merchant, demanded success. His mother, a novelist, demanded brilliance. But Arthur wanted none of it. He saw through society's games, the fake smiles, the endless chasing of money and pleasure. As a boy, he was already asking terrifying questions. Why do we suffer? Why does beauty exist in such a cruel world? Is there a secret purpose to pain? His father's suicide shook him. His mother rejected him. He withdrew, and in that silence he began reading, deeply. Plato, Kant, the Upanishads, Buddhism, and then he wrote something radical. In 1818, Schopenhauer published his masterpiece, The World as Will and Representation. In it, he declared, the true force behind everything isn't God, it's not even logic, it's will, a blind, restless energy, a cosmic hunger that lives in everything, from plants and animals to us. It pushes us to desire, to chase, to fight, and to suffer. Why? Because the will never rests. When we get what we want more. When we lose it, we hurt. Either way, we're trapped. Schopenhauer believed that our individual selves are illusions, just temporary waves on the surface of something deeper, darker, eternal. So how do we escape? For Schopenhauer, art wasn't decoration, it was salvation. Through music, through poetry, through nature, we can temporarily step outside the will. When we lose ourselves in a symphony or stare into a sunset, we stop wanting. We just are. He even said, music is the language of the will itself. It bypasses words. It speaks directly to the soul. And the ultimate act of freedom? Letting go of desire. Like the Buddha, Schopenhauer believed the path to peace is through renunciation, detachment. Not because life is meaningless, but because freedom lies beyond illusion. Now enters Friedrich Nietzsche, a 21-year-old student, searching, angry, sensitive. And when he read Schopenhauer, he said it felt like lightning. Here, he said, was the teacher I had been waiting for. But Nietzsche wouldn't remain a disciple forever. He rejected Schopenhauer's call to surrender. Instead, he reimagined the will, not as something to escape, but to master. He created the idea of the Übermensch, the overman who says yes to suffering and shapes it into strength. Still, Nietzsche never escaped Schopenhauer's shadow. Schopenhauer died in 1860, ignored by many. But today, his ideas burn brighter than ever. In a world drowning in noise, distraction, and fake happiness, his truth hits harder than ever. We suffer, we crave, we forget who we are. But maybe, just maybe, if we stop chasing and start seeing, we awaken. From Freud's psychoanalysis to modern mindfulness, from cinema to art, his fingerprints are everywhere. He was the first to show us. The darkest truths can shine the brightest light. What do you believe? Is life suffering? Or is it transformation? Is the will a curse? Or a hidden teacher? Let me know in the comments. I read them all. And if this journey stirred something inside you, hit subscribe. Join our community of seekers, thinkers, and spiritual rebels. There's so much more to explore. In the end, Schopenhauer didn't want you to be happy. He wanted you to be free, free from illusion, free from the chase. He showed us that beauty is fleeting, desire is endless, and suffering is real. But also, that stillness is possible, that truth is worth the pain, and that somewhere, in the silence between thoughts, we might remember who we really are. Stay curious, stay awake, and never stop asking the deepest questions. Until next time.